Hey guys, I'm currently standing at Sassafras Mountain. We are at the highest point in South Carolina. I am standing at 3,553 feet above sea level. I'm currently standing on the observation tower at Sassafras Point. This observation tower is amazing because you can see 3 states, South Carolina, Georgia, and North Carolina. The observation tower I'm standing on sits actually on the borderline between North and South Carolina. You can even see the etchings of that borderline in this stone structure. Pretty cool about this tower, construction for it began in 2017 and actually finished on April 22nd, or Earth Day of 2019, opening to the public for all to enjoy. After enjoying your time at the observation tower, come on down to do one of the various trails here at Jocassee Gorges. Today we are doing a section of the Foothills Trail. We're going to be hiking 2.1 miles one way, starting from Sassafras Mountain down to Chimney Top Gap. The Foothills Trail is actually a really famous trail in South Carolina, connecting Table Rock and Oconee state parks. Let's get started. So, before we begin a good hike, it's always important to have with you all of the supplies you need. Here I've got my handy dandy day pack with various items that I need for the trail I'm doing today. It's including a map, first aid kit, multi-tool, layers, and various snacks for along the way. These are all important supplies to have so you can ensure you have a safe, fun, comfortable hike. Let's get started. Jocassee Gorges is a vast, beautiful landscape of over 43,000 acres, with DNR managing 35,000 of that. Jocassee Gorges' name actually comes from the Cherokee people, meaning the place of the lost one. Some of the native peoples that encompass this land before us include the Cherokee, Istachui, and Oconee. The land here at Jocassee Gorges continued to be developed on well into the 80s. It wasn't until John Frampton and James Timmerman came along, 2 conservationists, actually from SCDNR. They began working with other conservation groups to make a case to protect the mountain property of this land. So finally, in 1998, the state bought those 35,000 acres and formally named it Jim Timmerman Natural Resource Area at Jocassee Gorges. Along our trail, you'll notice these trail blazes. This helps us to indicate which trail we're hiking along. As long as you can see that you're on the correct color, then you shouldn't have any troubles at all. This land was mostly owned and operated in the 1800s by commercial timber companies. So they would use these trees in this forest for creating sewing machines and cabinets, things of that nature. Even eventually energy production, which turned into forest management, even long before DNR came along. Early European settlers that came through this area would use sugar and corn along with early distillation methods to make a living here. You can really see that in the evidence of the land through the tributaries of the water that would flow through this area. The Oconee Bell, a rare plant species, is the hallmark of Jocassee Gorges. It was discovered in 1787. A lot of the plants and species that you'll find here in Jocassee Gorges are similar to the same kinds you'll find in more tropical climates, especially with the species of ferns and mosses that we have. A lot of specialists believe that this is because of the more humid and rainfall climate that we have in this particular area. Looking to the trees here, we have the eastern hemlock tree, mostly identifiable with their short-limbed, feathery branches. This tree is an evergreen tree, and they can stand anywhere from 40 to 70 feet tall. They're pretty cool because way back when, pioneers would use these needles here to make tea. Speaking of flowers, other than the Oconee Bell, another staple flower you can find here are wild azaleas. They are found on deciduous shrubs that grow up to 13 feet tall. They bloom in the late winter, early spring, months of February to May. They are very fragrant and most common native azalea in the southeast. We've also got our yellow azaleas, close in appearance except they are obviously an orangish yellow. Another difference is they tend to bloom in the summer months. So here we've got the great rhododendron. Most of the flower species we've talked about today are part of the rhododendron family. This particular great rhododendron can grow up to 33 feet tall. They're really more of a large shrub than an actual tree, but they are one of the greatest or largest sized rhododendron species in this section of the United States. Now, interesting fact, both for our flower species that we've talked about today and this plant, they actually have a toxin to them that is poisonous to both animals and humans, so never consume. This area is still a site for important wildlife and fish restoration projects involving white-tailed deer, peregrine falcons, and brook trout. One animal species you can find here is the largest land mammal of South Carolina, the black bear. Fun fact, black bears aren't always black in color. Their fur can be brown, gray. They can even have almost a bluish tint to it in the sunlight. Black bears are quite the force of nature. Their excellent sense of smell and eyesight makes them great foragers. They are so adaptable. If you have suitable food source and den location, they can live anywhere. In South Carolina, you'll find them mostly in the mountains and upper Piedmont, or even in the coastal regions. If you ever encounter a bear in the wild, slowly back away from them while making lots of loud noises to let them know to leave you alone. Another much smaller mammal friend is the eastern spotted skunk. They receive their name because, unlike the striped skunk, the spotted skunk has what appear to be white spots throughout their body. They are also much smaller than the striped skunk, weighing anywhere between 1 to 4 pounds. Don't let their small size fool you. Those musk glands are just as strong and can reach just as far. Another common animal friend, the Carolina chickadee. They are unique because they are one of the few bird species that don't migrate in the winter, and the only chickadee in the southeast. These little guys live approximately 10 years with a diet of insects, seeds, and berries. Listen for their signature call. Many bird specialists will describe the call of a chickadee as sounding like their own name. Listen carefully. What do you hear? A favorite bird to spot during the fall is our very own wild turkey. I'd like to note here that South Carolina's state bird is the Carolina wren, but the state game bird is the turkey. Sassafras Mountain is one of the many forested areas so you can find them. Those are just a few of the animal and plant species you'll find along your hike. Others you can hope to see are the pileated woodpecker, eastern garter snake, and beetleweed. So here we are at Teeter Totter Rock, taking a break and checking in with each other. Even if you're an advanced hiker or a beginner, it's always so important to stop and take frequent breaks along any length of trail. It's a great opportunity to drink some water, have snacks, socialize, check in, and check your distance. So far we've gone about 1.5 miles into the trail. Teeter Totter Rock is a unique rock formation for the way one rock balances on top of another. An excellent place to stop and get a group photo. And remember, never throw your trash on the ground. Always leave an area like you found it, if not better. Here we are, we've made it to Chimney Top Gap. Thank you so much for joining us on this hike. We look forward to seeing you come along to a few more in the future. If you want to check out anything else we're doing, follow us on Facebook at SCDNR Diversity Outreach. Hope to see you then.